Do we understand the heart, mind, spirit, and soul of God, or do we simply delusionally believe that we do? And this goes back to what Jesus said, that in that day, this rapture that Hal Lindsey talks about, or in this day of reckoning, judgment day, and where things change, the mortal meets the immortal in the twinkling of an eye, all this stuff, where we start seeing big changes. When that happens, it's going to be a situation where Christ says, all you that are calling on me now, where were you all that time? You deluded yourselves into believing that you were doing my will, thinking my will, speaking my will, but you weren't. I never knew you. Away from me, all you evildoers. So this is of critical importance, absolute, utter importance, imperative importance, life and death importance, that we get it. We've got to be real. We've got to lay all our cards on the table with our owner, with the Creator God Almighty, okay? And be very, very sincere when we ask for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and the right opinions to have about controversial issues, okay? Really represent Him and her. Since it is a matter of fact that the grand manipulators want our attention diverted away from focusing in on their evil doing, they devise acute division, fighting at each other's throats over nonsense like political affiliation, quote, Democrat, Republican. So we should ban all political parties as far as I'm concerned. Economic philosophy, socialists or capitalists, and liberal or conservatives, and they encourage open, covert, in-your-face animosity and discrimination towards your perceived nemesis by having no rules, no ethics, no morals, the politics of our public, our society. Gosh, I've got to start writing so I can read my writing. Should we really wonder at our state of affairs, lack of social, political, or economic cohesion? The status quo is so utterly effed up. As such, it is up to the individual to insist on knowing the truth and refusing manufactured division. Yeah, this is it. I mean, if you get that much, you get a lot. That these people, they work in unison against the best will of the people. And they want you to think, no, it's just, no, it's somebody else. Your problem is localized, and it's just your philosophies are keeping you divided. We're not, they stand out of the picture. They don't want you to focus in on them and to really get it, just like I've been preaching all along. But we've got to unite, folks, for God's sake, for humanity's sake, for our sakes, for our children's sakes, for everybody's sake. We've got to get together and thwart these a-holes, man. They're monstrous a-holes. Far better to be a poor, honest man, human, than a rich liar. To say America is the best house in a bad neighborhood, while this may be true for the moment, just like passengers scrambling on a sinking ship for the highest point that is unsubmerged, eventually their risk is even greater than those whom bailed into the water earlier, because there will be a very powerful whirlpool formed as the ship eventually fills completely with water and it sucks down said passengers to a watery grave. When the public at large, liberals, conservatives, socialists, capitalists, Democrats, and Republicans, discover through evidentiary fact that the, quote, top dogs want over 90% of us dead, and that doesn't finally unify us, I haven't the foggiest idea of what would ever bring us together. Yeah, folks, I mean, that's, survival of all of our survival, okay, is at stake here, and we've got to face that, and we've got to oust these monsters, man. They're going. With God's help, they're going. Imagine if we all had a PhD in our chosen field of interest, or if we all insisted upon being moneylenders, or actors, or rappers, or politicians, or lawyers. and on in that theme. How dramatically different would, quote, reality be? Suppose money in all its various and sundry forms was never invented. Talk about paradigm altering. We have to give these things some thought. Just like I pointed out that if we all had PhDs, okay, highly educated people in our chosen field of interest, how does that in any way negate the fact that we need countless menial jobs to be done by the population? Okay, so you know what? I mean, who the hell are you? And all these people, like I pointed out, all these jobs that are in great demand out there, people waiting in the wings, I mean, just would love your job, and yet they're able to extract these huge sums of money for doing that job, governmental job. What the hell is going on here, man? It's just, and I'm the crazy guy? Come on, man, this is BS. The entire paradigm is just BS. It's nonsensical, rubbish. Please understand, all forms of social strife manifested in your local community are stemming from on high. Our otherwise common interests have been turned on their head. We have a case of manipulation, gaslighting, the movement of the Overton window. We have been deliberately divided like on a string. The spirit of evil has us by the throat. The devil, quote, metaphorical or otherwise, is always in the details of social strife. I love intellectually honest people. Thank you very much. Want to see real social, political, and economic progress? Vote to put all politicians on minimum wage per their home state. So whatever the state minimum wage is, that's what the politicians are going to get. So you better really have some noble motivations if you want to be a politico. The lower your cost of living tax, the freer you are. That's pretty simplistic, but the facts are succinct. Witnessing the decay and destruction in America and worldwide can either be wearying or angering. Neither conditions are tenable. Because it really plays on people, man. You witness this stuff with your eyes wide open, oh my God, where are we going, man? Where is this ship of fools headed? Well, it's to destruction. If we allow these a-holes to take us, and the only way we can stop them from taking us is in our own hearts and minds now, because they've got us all on board. They've forced us all to play this game. Don't live without money, right? Nobody gets an opt-out. Nobody's exempt from playing this game. They force us to play it. It's crammed down our throats from birth. If you oppose a basic income, you cannot call yourself a fiscal conservative, much less a Christian. Whose planet is this anyhow? Answer that. You want to be an elitist? You want to be a medium elitist or mini elitist? Well, you're on the highway to hell, and I'm trying to save you from the flames licking at your behind. Ever notice those whom are most pro-immigration, pro-open borders are also those whom believe we are overpopulated and seem to care less about our own homeless native citizens? Yeah, how in the hell are we going to take in all these immigrants when we're letting our own native sons and daughters die out in the cold? How in the hell do these people get away with this crap? The mainstream media pulling this crap too? They just try to get a voting block? I mean, it's sick, man. They're insane, crazy people. Insane. All these politicals make me want to vomit. The mainstream media makes me want to vomit. I cannot stand these people. Make me sick to my stomach. God almighty, take care of our own. I don't care if the whole world moves to America. But do it in an orderly fashion. First come, first serve. Take care of your own damn native sons and daughters before you bring anybody else. There's obviously an affordable housing shortage. Don't tell me all these immigrants are rich. They're going to be able to afford to rent houses or buy them. What a crock of bull. What's going on? What is going on here? Who is housing these people? And why aren't our own native sons and daughters being housed first? What is going on? Answer me at the Housing Authority. You that run that Section 8 $50 billion a year money. What's going on? Use that money to buy people houses. Stop it. You get a paycheck. You say, if we just did that, then I wouldn't have a job anymore. Do you see the madness that has overtaken my nation? It's crazy. I'm not the crazy one. All of you that don't understand this are crazy. God Almighty help us. God Almighty help us. We're so screwed up. The establishmentarian ship of fools is careening to certain destruction. My advice, jump ship ASAP.